So, who is strongest in Class 1A after Season 2? Let's find that out. Of course, now this is not perfect. I'm not an expert in analyzing or anything like that. I will go off the mostly what I have seen and memory from Season 1 and 2. As well, there's so many elements that affect on how they fight and all of these different quirks they have and all that. And I do want to warn as well that I am actually insanely tired. I don't feel super well at all. My mind and my brain, my depression, everything of those things have been a real pain in the ass for quite a while now, and I haven't felt empowered to actually do this. But I wanted to make this video before Season 3 starts, which I am definitely gonna jump right into watching, making reaction reviews here on YouTube, because I'm so hyped for that. And it's one of the things that keeps me going. And as well did I want to show how the list looked from Season 1 and half Season 2. The changes that came from watching those parts, as well how it will compare to now. So this is how it looked like. I mean, it's, I guess in general, that I would say about the top 10 is, especially in Season 1 and all that, it's pretty much set in stone. I think most agrees on that. It's at least top 5 is pretty much, they are like the big bosses out there, definitely. The one that did climb a lot in half Season 2 was Ochako, actually. But that was after her battle with Bakugo. That was so insane. I fucking love that battle. It was wonderful to see, so I thought she deserved that at least so. But now we're gonna jump into what I think after Season 2. And there is a bit of changes, I must say, especially in the bottom part, I must say. Especially the top, I'm gonna say, is not so much changes, but there is a little bit there, so we're gonna check on that as well. We're gonna start with the bottom tier, the bottom 4 characters, which I consider about strength and quality of the powers and all that. Number 20, we have Rikita Sato. Rikita Sato was already number 19 in previous parts, but he dropped because honestly, his power feels very lackluster, and honestly, he doesn't seem to be the most brainiac kind of character, considering his fight with Cementos, that with Kirishima, that was obviously, it was doomed to fail. Also, his quirk, while it seemed like it could be insanely strong, the drawback is so freaking huge. So I'm not sure how well it actually will work, and I'm curious to see more about it though, and see if it will evolve and he can improve on it. But for now, he did drop from 90 to 20. It wasn't a big loss in that sense, but he dropped a little bit. Number 19 is Yuga Aoyama, Captain Naval Laser, and yeah, I mean, even if his laser itself is actually quite strong, we have seen it literally obliterate robots and all of that. The lack of usage of it, I mean, he can use it to propel himself a very short distance before his stomach starting to get hurt and he can actually collapse his organs and all that. As well, his narcissistic personality, and I'm feeling he's more of a comic relief than anything actually. I mean, he doesn't really do anything out of the ordinary except being well, the person he is. Though the thing I want to give to him is that he did seem to realize about Ochako's having these feelings for Deku. Probably before she actually do that. Or maybe he just guessing, what do I know at this point, but still, there is something at least. Number 18 is Koji Koda. The previous number 20 have actually rose 2 steps, maybe not super much, but after seeing him in the exam fighting with Jiro and all that against Mick and all that, I thought, but damn, he have a very interesting power. I think it's awesome. I love animals myself and think that is wonderful. Though, of course, he had problem with bugs and all that, but he can even command bugs. I mean, that is pretty dang powerful, actually, in that sense. And while his power, in a sense, can be very weak, because you rely on others, aka the animals, to fight for you. So that, of course, is a drawback as well, but I think that is a very, very cool thing that he can do that and have use of it. And I think by his nature that he can grow a lot. I mean, he is obviously very scared and all of that, but with the right people around him, I think he can grow pretty much actually. And seeing he seemed to be in a good team up with Jiro and all that, so I thought Koda that you deserved going up a little bit this time. Number 17 is Denki Kaminari, a character that I just dropped and dropped and dropped from every list. I feel so bad for him. I mean, I think he's a very funny character. I like his ability. He's very strong in human stun gun. But as soon as he going over that voltage, he can't win. It's obviously it's lost. It pretty much as Rikita Sato's Sugar Rush. That both of them are very strong, but they have such huge drawbacks that when they overextend, it's like, now it's fucked. And obviously Denki Kaminari is not a genius, he struggles with the tests, and the only reason why I didn't put him, probably he could be even below Aoyama, is first of all that he works very well with others. As long as you have a figure that can be a leader, that can push him, literally, he is actually a very strong character, but alone, I'm sorry, Kaminari, but you're pretty useless. Oh, not useless in that sense, but pretty weak, sadly. And now we come into the next tier, which I call the above the worst, but below medium. On number 16 is Mina Ashido, a character that dropped a little bit, which is sad because I think she is such a cool character. I love her design, her ability, I mean, Acid, Alien Queen. Why couldn't she have that name? Seriously, I would love that. And all of these, though she is obviously not the brightest person, just like Kaminari, and of course under the exam with against the principal of all people was obviously like, you two got pretty screwed by that. But her abilities feels very strong in that sense, and I hope to see it a bit more, what he can do and all that. But so far it have been dropping a little bit, especially comparing to some of the other characters on this list. Number 15 is Toru Hagakure, our favorite invisible girl that we love to see, pun intended. She actually have gotten up a tiny bit. She had been in the lowest tier, but now she actually come up a little bit, mainly because she's been pretty successful, especially under the exam against Sniper. Fighting with Shoji against him and all that. And actually, for once, her ability was actually insanely strong, because I assume his Sniper's homing ability depends that he must see the target. And of course, someone that is invisible, not easy to see them. Though, of course, I don't know if, for example, if she is still visible in heat seeking, seeing with heat vision and things like that. And she seemed pretty average otherwise in her abilities. But consider the nature of invisibility, I think it's pretty good, and she's simply a lovely character. Okay, that is more personally a little bit of bias there, but I think she's in a level that she's definitely not too strong, sadly, but she have great versatility. I really want to see more of that. Number 14 is Meso Shoji. I don't know what we gotta call him, Squid or something like that. He had lots of limbs at least. And he's the kind of character that I first of all think is really cool. First I was like, what? Really? That is weird, dude, but have a really cool abilities and all that. He had been showing, he's more like the character that not have gotten the time or chance to shine. Even if he probably have the ability to do that, but he had been more in the background supporting everyone else instead. And I think we will definitely see more of him, and I hope so as well, because he seemed to be a very strong character and all that. I'm gonna say he's a little bit of a guardian kind of character, He's guarding over the others, and he will be there when it's needed and all that. But so far we haven't seen super much of his power and all that. We know what he can do and all that, of course, and he have been doing a lot of cool things, but I think he needs to take a little bit step, and we see more of that before he gets high up on this list. And number 13 is Masahiro Ojiro, and I think he is a really cool character and all that, and he have done pretty good actually, considering that he doesn't have the most overwhelming a quirk or something like that. He literally have a tail and there's some like beast-like abilities, I guess, bound to the tail and all that. Of course, that great balance, can jump, can smack with the tail, and doing lots of things. But he also seemed to be pretty witty and being able to. I mean, it was like when in season 1 when he was fighting against the villains. He fought alone against them using guerrilla tactics, hit and run, which is obviously the most optimal way to fight. And as well, when in season 2, just before the tournament and all that, how he realized about he had been brainwashed and not watched but washed. Blah, blah, blah. English doesn't work for me. And told that to Deku and all that. And I think that is pretty good. He definitely could easily climb this list. I'm pretty sure about that, at least. And number 12 is our little perverted grape, Minoru Mineta. He have climbed quite a bit for a couple of reasons. He have shown to be really smart. He have great versatility and usage of his grapes. And he have done pretty good on the exams and all that. Even if his reasons maybe not to be a hero, maybe not the most honorable and all that, but it works. Whatever works for him and everyone else. And he have proven to be a pretty good character in that sense. Though I honestly must say, personally, I just think his entire hero outfit and all that, I'm like, it's like a set of grape with a diaper. I don't like it, so to speak, but his abilities and adding all of this, I think he's a very interesting and definite character that can do a little bit more, definitely. Not sure he can be in the top 10, but he would be just around there. Number 11 is Hanta Zero. So a character I didn't think of super much in the beginning. I mean, he's shooting tape from his elbows. And seeing how he fought against Todoroki in the tournament and all that, and it was instantly obliterated. Though I don't blame on that he's weak, but rather that Todoroki is way too fucking strong. That we do know. And not Todoroki, but I just because I said his name. What Zero have been showing though is that he have great mobility, great versatility, and use of his tapes and all that. And even if he was failed on the exam where he was fighting Midnight with his teammate Mineta, I think it was kind of actually, personally, I thought it was a bit of bullshit that he was not accepted because he was taken out so quick. But he did what heroes are supposed to actually do. He sacrificed to save Mineta. Because of that, they actually did manage to beat her. So maybe it is more reasons to that, but that is at least my personal opinion. And he did actually act on, as I think a hero should do, self-sacrificing. He did it for saving his friend, even obviously it's not life and death situation for real, but he did step up, he did what he could and all that, and they did succeed. And not to mention that Mineta never had been able to do that without the tape that Zero had given to him, well, rather stuck around him. So that's why I think Zero getting up a little bit on the list there. Number 10 is Eiji Kirishima, our favorite hard person. Yeah. He is a character that been around 9 and 10 like most of the time for me. He's very strong, his quirk is really hard. I think that his biggest flaws are that he is not the most battle smart person out there. As his fight with Cementos, with teaming up with Sato and all that, it didn't go too well because they were literally going rush in and that doesn't work. And of course his fight against Bakugo, his hardness, didn't last forever against Bakugo's explosion. But he did also push Bakugo to the end of that because you did see that he had a bit of problem. But Kirishima is definitely someone I would consider a middle ground character. Not weak, not strong. Okay, not that he's like bad or anything, but he's such a character. He's a core character. In a way, I actually would place him with the same group as Shoji. That both of them are character that doesn't excel super much that they're all like, whoa, it's so flashy as Bakugo or anything like that. But they are there. They are a solid core for many of the characters, for the groups and all that. And I think Kirishima definitely deserve a pretty good spot. And number 9 is Kyoka Jiro, Earphone Jack. And honestly, first of all, I think she's a very cool character, really interesting abilities and all that. And from what I have seen from the show, from season 1 and season 2, growing up and all that, she has been showing to be pretty versatile with her ability. Obviously, she is very great. I mean, being able to hear the surrounding is insane good. Using sound blast, I mean, if you can rupture an eardrum, you pretty much fuck up the balance on people, and you literally physical attack them with sound. But also, she works very well with people. And she can bring, from what I can see, she can pretty much actually bring out lots of good things of her teammates. Like what she did with Koda. I mean, now it was, maybe she acted a little bit pushy, but thanks to that, Koda actually managed to go against his fear and defeat Mick. And they managed to consider... Terrible, sorry, I can't speak today, it's so hard. But thanks to that, they managed to go on. As well, she literally used Denki as a human stun gun, and that works too. I mean, seriously, she is a character that really strong. She sticks out with her design and all that. Not that it really matters in how strong she is, but I think she's a very awesome character. Her ability to work with others, even if she sounds a bit of a grouch at times and all that, I think she's doing really good with it, and a really strong candidate of rising in this list, definitely. Number 8 is Ochaku Uraraka, and honestly, she will probably stay at around 8-7 for quite a while, because when I first saw her, I was a bit dismissive with her power and how well she would fight, especially when she was gonna fight against Bakugo. I was like, oh man, that's gonna be... I feel so bad for her. But even if she lost, she gained so much respect from me, and I freaking love her. Just seeing her ability, her will, I was like, man, that... seriously? And of course, I always liked her as a character and all that, but her power felt very limited in that sense. Even if, of course, fucking up with gravity is pretty fucking strong. But seeing after that, how dedicated she is, that with her power, she is growing, she's learning very much, and obviously being with the others will increase this, and I think her abilities in general will just rise, and I'm feeling that she has so much unlimited power. Okay, maybe not unlimited, but lots of power to get out of there, so to speak. So I thought she at least deserved this point. So number 7 is Fumikage Tokuyami, and he's also a character. He have been dropping a little bit because obviously we haven't, at least me, haven't seen the full potential of how strong he can get, because he have been limited to fighting in light in the day. When his shadow is weaker, of course though, he have more control, unlike the night when it's stronger and he have less control. So that is obviously a very big weakness. And he have showing that he is a strong character. He is not afraid. I mean, he works well with others as well. I mean, he's a great teammate. He has strong power and versatility with his shadow and all that. I'm just curious to see how it will work with his shadow later on, if he can get stronger or fighting under night, which I probably think his shadow will be even higher up. Well, not his shadow, but Tokuyami will be higher up in the list because of that. And honestly, he is definitely a top tier character, because he is really strong, and I know that if he can train and overcome his weakness of close combat as well, the darkness, so to speak, I think he will get insanely strong. Number 6 is Momo Jaojorosu. I'm pretty sure I still can't pronounce that name, but she, man, I love her character, her ability, and how much she actually grown. I mean, from season 1, she did fall down quite a bit. Her struggles on seeing how strong Todoroki is, that she felt useless, she felt weak, when she's in fact the opposite. She's very strong, she's insanely smart, she have knowledge and great team leader and all of these things that makes a great hero simply. And her ability, even with her ability, obviously I felt very unfair towards her because she had been in duels and fights against people that is simply outspeeding her ability. I mean, her ability is more, it takes time. She must know what she's gonna create, but if she get time to set up, she is definitely a strong character. That is why it's so hard to make this kind of list, because there's so many elements, so many parts that affect on a character's ability to fight, to utilize all his power. Because if you're just gonna see like, yeah, she lost against Tokoyami, she lost against there, then you got like, man, she's super weak. But seeing why she lost and understanding why that happened, all that, it's more. And of course they won against Eraserhead. Even if Eraserhead of course didn't go probably full out as he should otherwise, but he really gave her something good, and that was confidence. And also thanks to Todoroki, of course, that they two work so well together. And I think that is definitely a really awesome thing. Number 5 is Tenji Aida, my favorite character on this list. Sadly, he is not number 1 on who I think is the strongest though, but he have been around this, especially after seeing his fight with what the fuck was his new name? Stain was his name. Oh my god. For some reason I thought his name was Blaine. But I realized that is wrong. My god, my brain. I'm terrible, sorry, but my brain doesn't work well lately. But yes, I think Ida definitely is one very strong character. He has shown very much growth, not only with his ability, but simply being a hero itself. And working well with others. He have his weird demeanors and things like that, but I think he's a very strong character that will grow. Especially he's shown that he want to grow. He is not afraid to take the steps and to be stronger, and he have a very good reason for that as well. And I think he will definitely be a real powerhouse when it comes to it. Even if he's not maybe have the most flashiest quirk like Shoto, Bakugo, Deku and all that, I still think that is he have some really awesome powers going on there. Number 4 is Tsuya, our beloved frog girl that have actually gone up in this list and actually even above Ida, which I actually didn't think of first, but there are so many reasons. She's a character I would actually put with in the same kind of sense as Shoji and Kirishima, as a core character that is very strong, supportive character. But even for these two, she stands above them. So she's like an ultra good support. And I don't mean that she's like passive or anything like that, but as they explain that, she is a very good emotional support. She's calm. She doesn't get freaked out and act out of things. Her ability is very versatile. She's fast, she's strong, and she's pretty smart and all that. She have all of those things that makes her a great character, a great hero, a great teammate, and all of those things. And maybe she's not seen as every time and all that, but I think she is a very strong character, subtle character that is there you not always think on, but I think she is a very powerful character and could probably climb this list in the future. Then again though, with top 3 we have here, it's pretty hard to climb against these guys. Now this is a bit of a special thing, because number 2 and number 3 is of a bit of an argue once again, because in half season 2, Bakugo was number 2 and Izuku was number 3. Now it's switch again, as it was in half season 1, because I consider that Izuku is a bit stronger than Bakugo now, when Izuku have learned about using his powers and all that. And that is not to say that Bakugo is any weaker, definitely not. He's reaching more and more of his power. He had insane power, great battle prowess, and all of these things. The only thing that he lacks though is ability to work as a team. Well, he can do that, but not too well at points. As he did with Deku, though he and Deku definitely did do an awesome fight against All Might. That kind of rhyme. That too. So I actually gonna put these two as equal number 2. I know probably people will be like, what? You can do that? I can. So, because honestly, these two characters, they are so yin and yang. They are the two opposites, black and white, in not only their powers, but also in their mentalities, as we have been showing. I mean, Bakugo power is about explosion. It's energy outside. Deku is about energy inside, creating these massive power and speed. And I think these two characters, I mean, it's really hard to say who is the strongest of them. And honestly, though probably there is lots of great analysts out there, I haven't been watching any of these, but I'm going with that these two share a second place together, at least for now. And number 1 is the man that have been there from the very first video of this. Shoto Todoroki, our little ice fire boy that I don't think he will move from that spot in quite a while. It will probably take a while before someone is even able to touch his spot as number 1. Because he is, I mean, his quirk is overwhelming. Especially as soon as he starts to use both fire and ice. He is smart, I mean, he's not the biggest genius, obviously, I mean, but he is great adept to fight, and the more he learns to talk and communicate and work with others, the stronger he will get. I mean, as I would say, as 1 versus 1, I don't think he can grow super much at the moment. I think I think it was Razorhead, or was it All Might, that said, in a good way, no, it was All Might, was it? Because it was the fight between Bakugo and Deku, or rather, their fight against All Might, that Bakugo is already so high up that he can't make big progress, and Deku was so low, so he makes a huge amount of progress, but when as he reaches the same levels, that's also gonna be harder to continue on, and that's what I feel with Todoroki's ability as 1 versus 1, so to speak, at the moment, that he is pretty much there. He can learn to use his fire a bit more, but it's pretty much there. That what he can improve is his teamwork with others. And he's been showing that he can do that. I mean, with his work with Momo and all that, that he do realize things, that he might be a little bit of social awkward, so to speak, but he do understand and will learn definitely more and become an insanely powerful hero. That is without doubt that he will be. But yes, that is for me now of this list. I'm terribly sorry it's a bit jabbering and all that, but honestly, it's pretty fun to do, but it takes lots of me, and I haven't been feeling well lately at all, so yeah, it's a bit lackluster, but still though, it's really interesting to see how my list, at least for what I think, how it have been changing, and I'm gonna do that after about half season 3 as well. Do a new one and see how much have changed, what have changed, and then of course after season 3. So that is something I'm really hyped for, and I hope all of you are as well, because season 3 is coming soon. We're gonna watch it, we're gonna have a fucking awesome time. Super Ultra, my friends.